Hi everyone, it's Alex. Just wanted to give a little update this week on my progress and how the surrogacy is going. I had my 17-week checkup and everything is looking really good. Baby boy is growing like normal. Heartbeat is strong, steady. Everything's looking great. It was just a quick checkup on with the ultrasound and then, the normal typical blood work, double check everything is okay. All my hormone levels are good. All of the medication and things that are needed are all set. Got my results shortly after, I want to say about a day after, and everything was again great. So everything's in normal range. I share that with the mom usually, and she will check that with her OB at her clinic that she goes to, just as like another doctor's reference, since she is in another country. Everything is just going really smoothly. The first trimester, you are usually, that's when a lot of the morning sicknesses, heartburn, all those uncomfortable things. You're extra tired because that placenta hasn't formed yet. And then the second trimester is when that placenta forms and everything is, gets smoother. The morning sickness goes away, the nausea, any heartburn, all those things go away. You get your energy back. And then obviously the third trimester is a little bit more difficult because you have a big old baby in you. And so you have a big belly, have to navigate around. So just kind of enjoying my journey so far and enjoying every week I can. Hi everyone, it's Alex. The next topic I'm kind of going to get into is preparing for the transfer date. And so after legal, you then work with the clinic, the IVF clinic that the intended parent or parents are working through. And you set up kind of an estimated transfer date. So that depends on quite a few things. You will be in contact with them almost every day, if not at least 2 or 3 times a week, basically, because what they'll do is they will document your cycle, the day you start your period, and then all the way to the day you end your period. And in those days, you will be going to the doctor. They will take blood work. They will do an ultrasound on you during your period at this time to kind of see, get a baseline of your uterus lining at that time. So they want to see, where your hormones are at the very, first few days of when your cycle starts. And so they'll take a look at that. You will share the results. The clinician will review the results. The IVF clinic that the intended parents have chosen will review those results, and they'll say, okay, this is where you're at. Let's start this medication. And it really can vary. It just depends on the IVF clinic that you decide, or that the intended parents decide to go through. The first probably about 3 weeks of that, you'll vary in injections, you'll vary in your medication, and you will start all of those things as you prepare for your transfer date. But up until that point, even a few days before your transfer date, you will be subject to another ultrasound and blood work to confirm that you are in a normal, healthy range that they need to see you in before you can transfer fertilized embryo. And so all of this is done in the 1-month time frame. If for whatever reason hormone levels are off, uterus lining is off, they see something that maybe is a little bit concerning, they might have you do a mock cycle where they will have you continue the medication, but instead of going through the transfer, they'll have you do another period cycle and potentially start you the following month on the same thing again. So continuing to go in for ultrasounds, continuing to go in for hormone testing and blood work so they can just continue to monitor them. The good news is that it's usually a range for these hormones. So as long as you're in that range, you're okay. In addition to the time, money, and everything else in between, they want to make sure that, you're safe, that it's going to be a safe procedure, and just gives the chance of the embryo sticking the best possibility. Very exciting because you're finally going to get that transfer date for gestational carriers or surrogacy. And then obviously the intended parents are very exciting because they potentially could have, a pregnancy within the next month or so. So it's an exciting step in the journey. After you go through medical clearance, you're good. You have that transfer day, which for me, I am located in Arizona. I had my transfer out in California, which obviously is very close, and so it was a very short flight, about an hour flight, very easy to do, and then stayed in a hotel. Woke up the next day, had my transfer, which was very smooth, very relaxing. It doesn't really hurt. Obviously it's uncomfortable. What they'll do is they will have you undress, you'll gown up, you'll, put a hairnet on, face mask even, just to make sure that the immunity and sterility of the transfer room is kept at that level that needs to be, obviously to preserve the healthiness of the fertilized egg or embryo. From there, you will get called into the back, where the actual room is. You'll get all set up, and the doctor will come in. They will do a catheter past the cervix, where then they will take the embryo and then kind of inject the embryo through that catheter and into the uterus once it's aligned. They usually have an ultrasound where you can kind of see all of this happening. So when I went in and I could see through the ultrasound, I had a very nice technician who even pointed out to me like, oh, this is, there's the catheter, this is your uterus, and there's the embryo coming through. So I thought that was like really cool because you actually saw the embryo like coming through the catheter and being like left there, and then you saw the catheter being removed, and they're like, that's it, you're all done. And so it was very easy, very smooth. After that, you get changed back into your clothes. Usually your support person is waiting in the lobby at this time. You go back out into the lobby and then you're free to go, and then that's it. So it's pretty smooth, easy. I want to say all in all, it probably took an hour at most. And most of that time was actually just waiting for the room to get cleared and the doctor to be ready. And I'm assuming probably even the embryo to be ready at that point to have the transfer. So, but all around it was very smooth, very easy, very relaxing, not painful at all really, and you are in, out, done, and you have kind of the rest of the day. Obviously you want to rest, you just kind of want to relax. So the next day after transfer, you go home. And so you kind of just wait and see. Usually you have an appointment set up a few days after. I want to say it was about 9 days after the transfer date is when you'll have another OB appointment set up, and they'll do a quick check, blood work, and they'll try to confirm the heartbeat at that time. So it does take a little bit of time during that. A few weeks after the post-transfer date, I had the heartbeat confirmation where they did the ultrasound. I went in for my blood work, normal stuff. And yeah, they confirmed the heartbeat. And so I was super excited. That's when usually you can share that then with the intended parent or parents, because then, it's clinically proven at that point that yes, you are pregnant. There's no chance of a false pregnancy happening. So between the ultrasound confirming the heartbeat and the HCG level test that they used or that they take from your blood work, they confirm that yeah, you're pregnant. So from there, you have quite a few more follow-ups. You'll have almost a weekly check-in, I think it was, where I had to again go in for weekly ultrasounds. I had to go in for weekly blood work as well. And so checking the same thing, progesterone levels, my estradiol levels, even some of my thyroid levels, because that was personally just my situation. And so all of that was checked like all periodically for weeks and weeks. During this time, you're still taking your medication. You're still, doing your injections as the IVF clinic. You're still working very closely with the IVF clinic, the agency, which for me was Giving Tree Agency, and then also the intended parents at this point, because you can finally, kind of start communicating with them on your own now that you've cleared legal. After about 10 weeks post-positive pregnancy is when you are usually finally cleared from the IVF clinic as well as medication. And so as long as everything goes well between that period, you should be cleared at about 10 weeks to then choose your own OB office or, wherever you'd like to go to finish out your pregnancy and your medical care through that time. And then obviously not having to take that medication anymore is usually a huge relief, because at this time, after about, 2-3 months of taking medication, especially the injections, you'll get bruising. It becomes very sore on your hips and where you're injecting, even if you are switching hips. My medication, I was doing progesterone only injections, and I still experienced some pain and discomfort and bruising in the area just because that oil is so thick and it is injected into your muscles, so it's a little bit difficult sometimes for the body to break that down and have it not be painful. During this entire process, there obviously is some physical and emotional concerns and forewarnings that everyone should be aware of before starting this journey. It's quite a roller coaster of emotions because obviously it's not your child. You have to put your body through physical pain, not only through the labor, but obviously the medication leading up to it, the commitment to have to go to these appointments, sometimes on a weekly or multiple times per week basis. It's a lot of communication. It's a lot of time that I know I wasn't quite aware of or prepared for. And then all of it kind of following through, it's been eye-opening to understand all of the emotions that kind of go along with it. So there is obviously the physical demand of sacrificing your body for another child that is not yours. Also sacrificing your body with the pain or the injections once they get to a painful spot. They're not so bad if you have someone to possibly, or a partner or anyone really, to really massage that oil out of that area. That will also help with decrease any bruising and uncomfortableness that could be associated with the injections. Those are just, a few of the things that I experienced in my overall though, like I mentioned, it is a bit of a roller coaster because you're excited to have a child, you're excited to be pregnant again, you're excited to help, share the gift of life with another family that obviously is wanting that so very much and so badly. You're excited about it, you're nervous about it because you want the baby to be healthy, you want everything to go smoothly, you want everything to just be a good experience for everyone all around. And so there are, nobody knows the future, so it can be a little bit nerve-wracking to commit to that journey. And all you can do is, your best to make sure that you do what you can so that you're healthy, and hopefully in return, the child will be healthy. And then hopefully at that point, you'll have a smooth pregnancy and a smooth experience where you can give such a great gift to another family who so desperately wants that in their life. And so I think it bonds you with that family for the rest of your life, really, because you helped them to become parents. You helped bring that child into this world. It's all about what you put into it. So having that open mind and mindset to just be communicative and understanding their perspective and all the trust that they're putting in with you, carrying their child, and understanding that, they're just as nervous as you are for this process. And so being open, being communicative, being understanding, those are all, great things. Being realistic on your expectations, on the pregnancy, on the journey of the pregnancy. Those are all things to keep in mind if you are considering being a surrogate or being a gestational carrier, or if you know of anyone that is, or if you already are on that journey. Giving trees, surrogacy.